Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sabah al-Khair. Your Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Zayed Al Maktoum, His Excellency Zayed Mohammed Ahmad Al Tayer, Managing Director and CEO of DIWA, His Excellency Suranjil Whips Jr., President of Palau, Excellencies, entrepreneurs, and distinguished guests. I'm very honored to have been invited here this morning to share with you this keynote. But I have to say, I cannot compete with the excellent keynote speeches of my predecessors on this podium. Therefore, I invite you to join me on an imaginary spaceship as we travel to outer space. Are you ready? Then, welcome to the UAE Space Agency, established in 2014 to develop the country's space sector, promote scientific research, and lead space missions. The Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center plays a crucial role in the UAE's space activities. It is responsible for space missions and space exploration. In September 2019, astronaut Hassan Al-Mansouri became the first Emirati to travel to space when he spent 8 days aboard the International Space Station. And today, the astronaut program is inviting all of us to become astronauts in a matter of seconds and embark on a very special mission. Stage 1, spaceship preparation and liftoff, or taking off towards solutions. As we prepare to launch, much like our efforts to address climate change, we are at the very beginning of a crucial journey. The next decade will determine whether we manage to rise above the challenges of climate change or stay grounded by inaction. Just like a spacecraft needs the force of powerful engines to break free from Earth's gravity, we need your driving force based on innovation, capital, and business opportunities to propel us towards a sustainable future. Stage 2, the end of first stage rockets, or rising through the atmosphere and understanding the climate crisis. As we begin to break through the atmosphere and gaze down at the Earth, we begin to grasp the full scale of our planet's fragility. Our view of the Earth from above makes it clear we are dealing with a global crisis. We see the effects of climate change, rising temperatures, melting ice caps, and severe weather patterns. And from this vantage point, it becomes evident that our planet is on a dangerous trajectory and the consequences are accelerating. This is why Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber's words at COP28 here in Dubai must be remembered. He said, we must adopt a different way of thinking to keep 1.5 degrees centigrade within reach. Stage 3, ignition of the second stage rockets, or going into orbit, the global perspective on the ocean. As our spacecraft almost reaches orbit, we get a fuller, awe-inspiring view of Earth, where 70% of the surface is covered by the ocean. From here, the importance of the ocean in regulating our climate and sustaining life become undeniable. The ocean produces half of the planet's oxygen, absorbs about 25% of global total emissions, and has taken up 50% of the excess heat produced by global warming. Yet from orbit, we also see the damage done. Rising sea levels, ocean acidification, increasingly stronger storms, and the destruction of coral reefs are stark reminders of how interconnected the climate and the ocean are. The truth is, we cannot address one without considering the other. This is why I respectfully propose that next year, this summit becomes the World Green and Blue Economy Summit, as both are intrinsically linked. The OECD forecasts that by 2030, the blue economy could reach around $3 trillion in gross value added, which would be about 5% of global GDP. Furthermore, they estimate the ocean blue economy directly supports around 31 million jobs globally. Fisheries and aquaculture alone provide livelihoods for about 260 million people around the world, including those involved in direct employment, processing, and associated services. Stage 4, our spacecraft reaches peak orbit, or the planetary boundaries, the limits of our Earth. At the peak of our spacecraft's journey with an altitude of approximately 250 kilometers, we gain a humbling perspective on Earth's planetary boundaries. It is here, where the entire planet in view, that we fully appreciate the delicate balances that sustain life. We remember the work of Johan Rockström at the Stockholm Resilience Center, which defined 9 planetary boundaries, limits that, if crossed, could lead to irreversible environmental damage. Sadly, we have already exceeded 6 of those limits, including climate change, biosphere integrity, and biochemical flows. As Rockström said, once these tipping points are crossed, feedback loops can set in that future destabilize our planet. From up there, it is clear that Earth systems are not infinite. If we do not act now, the collapse of ecosystems, the runaway melting of ice sheets, and the destabilization of critical Earth systems will follow. The Antarctic ice sheet is already losing unprecedented amounts of ice, and 1 meter rise in sea levels would devastate coastal regions, affecting countries like the UAE, my own Costa Rica, and Bangladesh, where approximately 25 million persons would have to be displaced. Stage 5, re-entry procedures into the atmosphere, or business as the force that drives change. As our spacecraft begins its descent back to Earth, we reflect on the solutions needed to restore balances. The private sector, the business world, can play a pivotal role in addressing these planetary boundaries. Just as a spacecraft relies on precise engineering to ensure a safe re-entry, we rely on innovative businesses, on you, to drive the clean energy transitions, resource efficiency, and nature-based solutions we need on the planet. Businesses are no longer just being asked to participate. As the World Economic Forum informs, they are expected to lead. Many of you here today are already doing so by pioneering breakthroughs in renewable energy, water management, and advancing the circular economy. Yes, the transition to a low-carbon economy will be bumpy, like the re-entry into the atmosphere of our spacecraft, but it will be successful. Stage 6, touchdown, or the role of policy in supporting sustainable business. Just as successful re-entry of a spacecraft requires coordination between ground control and spacecraft, effective policy is crucial for enabling businesses to thrive. We need intelligent public policy that promotes both environmental sustainability and economic growth. Allow me to highlight examples from 2 nations, the UAE and Costa Rica. The UAE, with its leadership in renewable energy projects like Masdar and its Noor Abu Dhabi solar plant, which powers 90,000 homes and reduces carbon emissions by over 1 million tons per year, has demonstrated that climate ambition and economic growth can work hand in hand. UAE's investment in carbon capture and green hydrogen production provide further proof of that. On the other hand, Costa Rica's Payment for Environmental Services program has incentivized reforestation, resulting in a dramatic 100% increase in forest coverage over 30 years, a doubling of our carbon absorption capacity to sell on the emerging market carbons. Furthermore, our investment in renewables has met 100% of electricity demand during the last 5 years. These are perfect examples of two countries on opposite sides of the planet enacting policy to simultaneously drive environmental and economic benefits. Our conclusion: a successful collective mission. As we touch down back on Earth, the journey serves as a powerful reminder that we are all passengers on this fragile planet. We must act collectively to avoid crossing more planetary boundaries and destabilizing the systems that sustain life. The knowledge, the technology, and the resources are within our reach. Just as the spacecraft's journey relied on careful planning and innovation, so does our fight against climate change and ocean degradation. Let's harness, therefore, the power of business, good policy, and global cooperation to unlock opportunities and advance program towards a sustainable future. Thank you.